What's up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C. And this particular vid, I will be reviewing, recapping Greenleaf Season 4, Episode 3, y'all. Oh, this is like my second take. Sorry about it, but I'll just add this in and I'll go on my little rant and I'll start my review. Shout out to my YouTube fam. How my YouTube fam, go ahead, subscribe, hit that bell, full bell, to get a notification when I post videos. Um, and let's go from there. First, I want to say that I had to wait and find the episode this time. I actually had it pre-recorded on the Uverse stuff, and then it says it was titled the third episode, y'all. I went to it and it's episode 2. So I'm like, what is going on here? Where they got the total different title, and I try to see to have it on like the app, and it was on there. I probably would have had to download. I should just probably download the own app and probably was able to see it. But I had to search and I'll find it later on. So when I was originally going to actually review, because now it's like 12:33 a.m. in the morning, Wednesday, technically, October 23rd. Yeah, I'm a little bit late. Um, like I said, I was originally gonna do this earlier, so I may do review one more after this or whatever, and then try to finish the rest tomorrow or whatever or this. So sorry y'all if I'm a little bit sluggish. Like I said, I thought I was gonna be able to get this one at least 3 tonight because I already have one. But like I said, man, I'll upload them all, to the same day later on. So anyway, y'all, um, it kind of picks up where it left off, where after she gets the Gigi gets the call from AJ, um, she's going to Arizona, and she's going. He's been, she got taxed everything. He's at a halfway house, and the halfway house looks like out of sight, like it's like a church, or maybe there's a sponsorship or grant, whatever, or maybe it's a program that happens to have else that's affiliated with you know, a certain church or churches, I don't know. So she goes in there and he comes out. She had and could had to ask for him with a security signing person, whatever. And when he comes downstairs, Rachel's just like this, and here this agent like, what? You was supposed to. Now we could already we know like there's anger there because it was given up for adoption, and on top of that, I don't know, he's probably not trying to sit in his early 20s at the most. And already he tried to contact her before, and like I said, she kind of didn't, push away there. So he already probably has like these anger issues, why you push me and why whatever. But then got the nerves at the same time to think that he's entitled, whatever. Because he got mad, like, why did you come down here? I thought we were supposed to do was just give me the money. Okay. That was all he was on. She was like, yeah, but I just wanted to talk to you. You know what I mean? Sorry, y'all. I was trying to see something. I was trying to talk to you about something. That is all. Okay? So he didn't really first want to talk to her, but she really wanted to say something. So the first he's already like, no, I don't want to talk to you, blah blah blah, the money, blah blah blah, this and that, I'm out of sight, spin like you already gave me away once, blah 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 blah, don't let her in here. Tell the first side, don't let her in here, and then walked up the stairs, whatever. And Grace kind of I think was starting to cry about it, whatever. But she, we'll get back to that later on. So around the same time, when she just instantly left, when she got the call from AJ and got the probably first class fight down to where they're at, apparently, actually, she was supposed to meet with one of the members slash one of the board members about, a concern, which we'll go later on about that concern. So, anyways, actually, the woman comes up to Helen Hazardous and is trying to see CJ there. Karina's like, hi, how you doing? Blah blah blah, and she is looking for Gigi, but Gigi is going to Arizona up here trying to somehow rekindle or at least try to give at least an explanation to her angry ass son who was like, I don't want nothing to do unless you send a cash check or cash packet or PayPal or whatever, but that's the only way I'm dealing with you behind. He doesn't even want anything to do with her, period. And so But other than that, Kareem's trying to, feel the penguin comes there and waddles, able to convince, I think Miss Williams away because he's like, I'll do it because Kareem's like, I was just gonna call her, and he's like, no, that's fine. I'll come into my office. I'll help you, whatever. So Kareem goes and calls Lady Maid, and you like let her know, and let her know like, Gigi. Well, I don't know what's going on with Gigi, but she was supposed to have meet with someone tomorrow about something, and I don't know what's going on. If Phil the Penguin took her, Waddle her, took her away, and now like I said, Lady May is like, okay, so she's gonna look into that. But at the same time, also, I think it was around the same morning, next morning. Now, so this is depends how some people look at what they call like dreams or foreshadowing, warning, or visions, or something like that. Now, Lady May talks to James for a second, and she said she had a dream or warning more so, or like I said, depends on terminology you use. Um, she was in a museum, and I think some people are hollering, screaming, whatever. And she goes to this painting, and I think it's supposed to be the painting of Jesus. And James sitting there, also bishop, he cut, I guess, the painting in half, she says, and there's blood on the knife or something or whatever. And James like this, she said, sorry. And so she's thinking that it automatically has to do with James, and he needs to apologize to church. James like, you know what, whatever with that, keep your dreams to yourself until I have something like that. So he like, okay, whatever, Lady May, okay, whatever. But you sometimes have heard about some people with the vision. Sometimes you may see something, and it may be because about the 100% thing. You ain't supposed to, you automatically just because you see somebody, it may not, it'll be the person right next to them, etc. Or you heard some people, well, they dream about a man, it's really about a woman, or vice versa. So, or something, whatever. Because we're gonna get to that as far. It still has something to do with James, but we'll get into why it was, what I'm saying, it was not completely accurate. Because, like I said, even vision, sometimes you have to think about, or dreams or interpretation, just with anything, like, you don't get the accurate thing. That's just like people say if they would go to readings. I know some people, I mean, you ain't gotta be in Christian or anything, watch reviews, but you know what I mean? Like, you go to readings or astrologers, even if you get to some of the best ones who do that stuff, not everything is gonna be accurate. Shoot, even if the thing goes with even paternity and stuff like that. Even with the child, they never say 100%. Nothing. That's my privilege. Nothing's 100% except God. Okay, but it's weird even in science terms. Interesting, not weird, but interesting. Even in DNA, they will say you're 99.9, and you can even see this on Maury or those that take a DNA test and stuff like that, and they'll say 9.99, but they will not say 100% even on that. So I know I just rambled, just talk about something else, but that's what I'm saying is sometimes even if things come clear, it may be some things you need to kind of still maybe study or understand what it comes when you see certain dreams or visions or whatever. And if it does come out to manifest, it may not be instantly like, oh, I know since this happened, that means that you got to apologize or you got to do this. You know what I mean? There's sometimes it takes a little digging or it to come into reality in order to see it. You know, that's just my perspective. But anyways, so we, like I said, we up here. Where's Gigi? Where in the world is Gigi? Like I said, then we got, I forgot who the man's name is, who's actually was also the music director that who works with Charity, whatever. Right? I don't know why I'm going to call her Chastity so bad, but anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like Chastity, but I don't know what. She sure ain't trying to use one of those, but anyway, so they're all talking, and they're getting ready for Judy to come there and sing the song, and y'all. This is kind of like this. I didn't even listen to the words. I just hear this. I don't know. I mean, it's got Jesus stuff, but it's just like the I don't know the terms like music stuff like that. But the way it sounds is like this. It just sounds scary. Jesus. I'm like, oh heavens, no. So they're like, what the heck is this? I think, they would listen to the song. And I didn't know, like I said, it was just like the way she was singing. It was just like cringy and creepy. So, I didn't know like the last part of the song or sentence was talking about, and Jesus with his rod, and even though that is a Bible verse, that the other music director was talking about, who's been with Jerry, since last season when he had not last season but the first season, like because he was, he's a gay man, and like there was, I think, there was a controversy with that, but he's still there, and he was just like, Lord Jesus, they both sitting like, heaven help us. So she don't want to, of course, do that song. And like you said, even though there's a verse about the rod, people can take that other ways. With what rod? Okay? And that could be interpreted as being possibly sexual. Okay? Or the devil. Remember, y'all, I don't know if y'all ever have watched the Saturday Night Live back in the day when it was kind of funny, but, like in the 80s. But what was that character they know, like the church lady? Is it Satan? So anyway, um, so they're thinking about it. So she wants to write her email about this, like, cause she don't want to, sing this song. And I want to fast forward real quick. The penguin, Bill the penguin, kind of confronting her. And like I said, Charity ain't clicking in. The wheels on the bus do turn, and then one of the wheels popped off when it comes to her ex. Okay, because she, he's up here basically correcting her because she don't want to sing the song, Jesus, and basically told her she didn't want to sing the song. He's like this, well, they singing all the old hell and harmonies and stuff like that, and they supposed to sing it, everybody supposed to sing, we're supposed to sing that song, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, we don't do traffic. Well, it's not unnecessary war. Don't you want to be the APB? Basically going off of this, her way of dealing with us like this. Well, if you want to know some information, Gigi is not here. She's down somewhere else. Oh, and then he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, see, that you being mean to me. But it's like, that's not actually checking him about him being disrespectful. You actually are feeding him information. You still actually agreeing to him basically being disrespected, you dum-dum. And I can't. So she thinks she's one up by doing this. Excuse me, y'all. I didn't take my acid reflux pill, so I don't feel like getting we gonna keep going. But anyways, so we have another scene where we have like Jacob, again, and he was in his office, and Clarissa Spain is all comes to visit, and he does mention that. Wait, weren't you supposed to be at work today? And she, at your job or whatever. She didn't say nothing about it. Maybe she was breaking stuff because she actually emailed, which I forgot. Of course, I didn't put. I'm not gonna stop saying forgot. I just didn't put in the last review that she was already emailed, I guess, the person who, a real estate or some, I forgot who it was, about trying to start, reeling out there to see the offers about this thing before even Jacob even got his weak thing or sign from God, whether or not he should continue to do the if he should sell the land or not. So she comes there, she's like, guess what? Carissa Spainall's all excited and stuff, like, guess what? We got an offer, and it's even more than what we paid for, yay, because she wants to get into this house, whatever, so badly, whatever, right? And he's just like, okay, but he's still kind of cautious about selling land and trying to get in this place and stuff, whatever. And because she's like, yeah, it may be part of your land, but her name is on the deed too. So, Carissa, like I said, is ready to get away from everybody and work on whatever the hell she's trying to work on, or whatever the case is, blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, we have a scene. I'm just going to go and just finish the part with the AJ part, whatever. I'm not going to go in particular order. Then we're going to go back to Zora stuff. So let's just say this, like the next day, again, Gigi tries and talks to him, and, finally we get touched because he first said, oh, you're back. And, she explains to him, like, she apologizes and stuff. And basically one of those, I apologize. I mean, she's sorry for what had happened. And he asked her, like, would it would have been different if, would you change your decision to give me up for adoption? And she said she does not know. You know what I mean? So it's like she doesn't know, but we just gonna have to move on, from what it is now. We can only go forward. So she wants to try to help him find apartments there because when they're talking a little bit afterwards, it's two people get into it and the security guys gotta break up. So he was like, okay, we can start looking for places now. They found a nice place and place whatever. And I guess when you're up there running the credit or running the scene approval, he first was saying like he finally is able to get quiet and he has that quiet now, even though he said he was going to get bored of being quiet, even though he's been quiet for so long. And the woman comes in there and basically she's like, well, the person, so he can't, even though you're the co-signer, we can't rent out to him because um, AJ walks out, I guess, out the room or on the park, and she like, Gigi thought she was going to use her authority to work, and she's like, the manager says no, and just, the owner says no, and just walks the heck out. And I'm just like, that's messed up. So they gotta leave, and they talk. Like I said, Gigi still wants to keep working out with trying to help him get his, you know, get a place. And there also was another scene that I think it was meeting or after I guess they tried to go to that place or whatever. I don't know, it was just they only checked out that one place or whatever. But she said, that's when AJ opens up for like 2 seconds. And he kind of explains like, you may think I'm a certain way, but I'm not. He basically got 5 years, he says, because he was just trying to get something to eat. And he went into more detail about he, breaking people's house. I guess, and one time he went into a house and he knew the people were going for vacation, and he was just so in peace, or they were going for a night, whatever, and he was just so in peace that he wanted to be somewhere cool, and he was like they caught him, asleep or whatever in the house, so breaking in and so forth, so whatever, so Gigi's like, she promised him she's gonna make sure he has peace and quiet and stuff like that, and he could be cool and stuff like that, and Gigi's okay, and whatever. So, in the meanwhile, we also have another scene around town. I don't know if it's the next day, whatever. But I think it was the next day. But so Zora, the explorer, wants to try to see explore Dante. She's sitting there in this white get up, and she even sees Charity in the hall, and she even missed it. She's on her way to get Dante. Jared's like, go ahead, girl. So she's in her dad's office, and Dante comes in like, oh, you here to see, Pastor such and such? And she like, no, I'm his daughter. And then he was about to, I think this, he was like, okay, well, you fan will give me hugs. And hug. This girl comes in, and it's his girlfriend. She's looking at her like this, like looking at her up down, like, that's not this is my man, type of look. And so he's like, oh, it smells like it's a coffee place in here, blah, 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 whatever. She's like, yeah, job. So they all went there. And this girlfriend, Nikki, ain't saying nothing, but kind of has this this armor look, like, don't mess with my man type of look, so whatever. So when I guess they about to get their Lati stuff, it's still more so you got Dante talking about Nikki's about to bring this new place that he got already, give some oil, sage, and whatever, kumbaya, whatever the hell they talking about. So that's when Pastor Jason's about to come in because he was late. Because actually, right before that time, I didn't know. I thought he was already off of work, just coming back home. Lady May, like, if you don't take your tail back to your job, because he already had a talk with his dad James about the situation with the land. And here's James. Now I kind of agree and you understand, but I still believe this Calista Sternall has other motives, besides what the answer James had gave. Now, he was talking about possibly settling, and James is like, just say no to her. Jason like, I just want some peace. I just want some quiet. I think it's just the best thing to do is just sell this land, right? And he explains to him, like, how the rich stay rich. Like, land is one of the most best assets to have and keep. You able to have, like, land is like almost during in some cases to be priceless. The way James was explaining whatever about people able to keep their land, but Jacob is still deciding like maybe to go ahead and get played because he was talking about this place and James is like, y'all barely just got back moving in here, barely. You know what I mean? Y'all just barely opened up the U-Haul box and came back in here, and then all of a sudden y'all gonna leave. He was like, I know, but trying to get scrape and get this place, and stuff like that. Even Jacob hasn't even seen the place yet. Okay, The best he got was probably one of them house sites when you do a virtual tour, seeing a bunch of like they got 56 pictures and they go around there. You know how that's changed since instead of magazines, y'all used to get they used to have that'd be free and they show all these different houses, but it's better because it's paperless and you can post multiple photos throughout the house, more. So, but that's the closest he's ever got, but he just wants peace. And then Jane was trying to say, like, well, ain't got nothing to do with the money to Jacob. Like, Bishop was trying to explain, like, she just wants love. She just wants attention to know she's there. Now, you already know you did that stuff with Tasha and everything else and stuff like that. So she just want to know to confirmation that you're going to be there. But also, like, Charity has this title. Once this has this title that she's a goal on. She's in competition with the Greenleafs, particularly Greg, particularly other things. She married Jacob because that last name, probably other things too, but it did help that the last name was Greenleaf and married to the family. So yeah, it's a bunch of issues and stuff like that, but it's like it's beyond person to me, just like some love thing, like no, that is she's chasing after some power. Amen to that. So like I said, they were talking, and I think eating some pieces of a pound cake. When the mom came in, Lady Mae was like, "Okay, get back to work." So that's when we go back to. That's why you had to go back to the church, because Lady Mae said, either you gonna like be committed to your job as a pastor or not. And he goes back to talk. When he goes back around the time when they getting some lattes at the church, I don't know if it's a Starbucks in the independent place. Um, Jacob's like, excuse me, you made my daughter thing. Okay, well, I'm up. Excuse me, we got to talk for a second. And when they leave, y'all, when they leave, then Nikki finally decides to open up her mouth again because she said some Japanese word. I'm not about to disrespect the word, what it is. I mean, it was, about peace with home or something like that. Not. Mm-mm. So, but she asked it, Flower gonna ask, Zora the Explorer, like, oh, so do you live with your parents? And she was like, no, I kind of stay, but I stay with a cabin on the estate. And here, Nikki, who does not know Zora the Explorer barely, and had this defense of, decides, like, you know what? Oh, you is? Let's go. Oh, okay, are you coming with me? Let's go to your place. And Zora just go on this broad that she doesn't know. Heck, Dante don't even know her dad. They're those people. She just bringing some random to the house, okay? Does Zora got any friends? Sunday school friends or something? I mean, I know she passed Sunday school, but you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's good to her Sophia's close, but it's just her, like, just like, oh, okay, to this girl that, that you don't know in person that just came on there. Did somebody text to Google the put? Okay, whatever. So we see later on that Zora is laying down Nikki's edges, and she's like, Nikki was like, oh my gosh, let me take a picture of it, time to filter Instagram, but she's one of those type of people, like, follow Shade Room, they plugged in Shade Room, if y'all don't know, if y'all social media, whatever, Instagram, it's popular, gossip, site, latest news, whatever type of sites, and sometimes they give informative stuff, whatever, but it's celebrity stuff. And so she was saying, yeah, you could charge for this, you could charge for that, and stuff like that. And Zora was like, oh, it's been a while, since somebody gave me a compliment. And, Nikki's asking, like, the backstory behind that. And because she hasn't been used to that in a long time. She was with a boy, but he, basically, like, so many words, gave her problems and put her down and stuff. But she didn't say those words, but you could tell, like, she's still healing from that a-hole that she was with, that she left, And, but Nikki was like, well, why don't you think highly? But you need to start thinking highly of yourself, whatever, and, getting to the happiness. But something along those lines. Now, Zora had a couple of, legacies on the stuff, and, the girl came up her in a way like, she picks up, you need to start loving yourself and understand the person that you are. Like, picks up the chain a little bit, and does this to her hair, but not in, like, a way like it's, like, mean or vindictive or trying to see, is this really your, are these really your inches? Is this 4C or 4B hair? She did this like this almost it was a sinister way. And even though she did this, y'all, she slowly like did this. And if Dante didn't come in time, I think was about to go, like, she was doing this slowly, but she was slowly zooming in at snail pace, and I think was on the verge of going to kiss Zora. Was on the verge, to try to make her feel good or something. It's just so Dante, was like, let me go. Next time, probably we'll hang out, get something. And she was like, but they're gonna say when they're leaving out or not. But you would just, if Dante didn't come that time, you you trying to set up to hook up with see my hook up with Zora. Nikki Nasty, I'm gonna call her nasty ass. So anyway, um, so that scene cuts out, and so like I said, we got Carissa thinks that that about like they think like it's supposed to be Bob, even though the excuse that Gigi has told some people they did know that she was supposed to cover some stuff with Ray, okay, or set that up, and so when Lady May and James hear the news about Miss Misty coming in and trying to get help, and Gigi's not there, and they don't know what the heck is going on, and Gigi was supposed, like I said, help out with her and what was going on. Lady May and James decide to go to Misty's house. Misty lets him in, obviously, whatever. But when she's like, "Are you sure you're gonna need help?" She's still like, "We're fine. We're fine. We're just gonna have because we found out that the Phil the penguin is going to help her with these circumstances, and she's still like, "We're fine. We're fine." But Lady May James is showing her like, "We fam and stuff, and even though we're not over and that we're not mature, so does not mean that we're not going to be there to help you in a time of need." So, anyways, she asks Jane to go warm the car, stay in the car, because maybe she thinks like maybe she talks to Missy herself. Missy would feel comfortable about what's going on, but she still hasn't told them flat out what's going on. She was there. What was told, I think, for Corinne was telling. Then Corinne was telling. I guess she Lady May over how she found out was in there for 2 whole hours with Bill the Penguin, and so she talks to Missy, and she's like trying to get try to find out what's going on. We could talk. Missy was like, I don't want to, and you might as well stop and hold the embarrassment. And Lady Mace was like, well, what's going on? I still, basically still trying to say we could help the situation. She missed that her daughter, unfortunately relapsed and got back on pills addiction, and Gigi was supposed to go with her, but Doctor Phil the Pain was going to take care of that, now and go with us about this intervention thing. We good. And Lady May was what's going on. And Misty was like, her and I forgot the other person she mentioned on the board when they voted to have Hell and Hazardous take over the cavalry stuff like that. They basically don't want any doing with Lady May, and Lady May is like, what? Like, why is that? I've been serving. I was served. Did I do something wrong? And this is what Misty and obviously a lot of people claim turns out. And this goes back to the dream, where it's basically that they feel that Lady May knew that Mac the Monster was hurting and violating those girls and turned a blind eye and also let him still use the money for the scholarships to pay off these girls he was hurting. And she was like, she had no idea. Miss was like, well, they refused to believe that Lady May had no idea that this occurred. But what's interesting though, even though Mac the Monster was what's her name, Lady May's brother, I'm surprised that because if Grace is not, they said like with Grace whatever. It's interesting that they're only putting it with May, because but I don't think they want to do. I don't think they want to deal with Jason because they said Dr. Phil or Phil the Penguin or Grace now. That I think that's the most they just want to deal with or whatever. But it's just that's messed up. But so Lady May went out and James was trying to find out what was going on, and she doesn't want to talk about it. And you see a later scene where, because like I said, I'm not going through everything. Lady May ends up also calling Gigi to see where the hell is she at and is she coming back up here, right? And she was saying, I'll probably be back around Friday and stuff like that. And I think this was before, I'm not going to remember, but one of the scenes is she called her and it might be, I think it was after because it said it was the intervention and she didn't know about that until, she got the truth about, why they want Lady May away, from everything. And so she's asking Grace, like, geez, when in the heck you gonna come up here? Stuff like that. The church is going down, blah, 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 and you're not here. And Grace told me, oh, I forgot I was going to call the woman back. But it's like, because of AJ calling instantly already the stuff is so speedy, just tuning her out and everything else. Um, the thing is that now she feel, she just like went in despair in the moment and tuned out the obligation that she's supposed to do. So basically, Lady Mae was giving that warning, like, bring your tail back here, okay? So she had to break the news to AJ, I think the next day, whatever. And, well, I guess the third day, because I know she tried to back the next day and the third day, and went to him and explained to him that I'm going to leave you somewhere. Because first he even somewhat acted like he was happy, like, well, I found an apartment, but the landlord is not coming back to a certain, it's on vacation, and we can get blow up and stuff like that. And first, Grace is like, well, AJ, and he's like, well, I'll pay you back or whatever. And that's what she's playing. She's just gonna give him some money, and she'll come back in a couple of days. And then again, he gets back to that, nah, you can leave and blah 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 blah, just go. I'm sorry that I called you. One of them times he said, he said most like, I'm sorry that I called you, blah blah blah, go. And of course, she's sad. She tried asking him, could she go back to the certain room where I guess we were sitting, and he was like, no. And then, Grace had this guilty look, but she had to go back to, back to the hometown. So when she gets back there, everybody has like this moment because Lady May ends up finally telling James, because she's looking at these pictures that, been customized for her, like, like meant that you put in a projector and look on the screen. And she tells James, like, what the meaning of that vision was really her. And she realized that, like I said, find out the truth, but she's, like I said, crying to James's emotions. And she started, like, thinking, like, did I know that he was hurting these girls? And then I turn a blind eye for this stuff. Cool, of course, their daughter as well, Faith. And, just wondering, and James is like, no, you didn't know, just trying to be comforting and stuff like that. But she did finally admit to James what was going on. So then we see in the later scene where Gracious came in, and Lady May's asking her to come in and talk to everybody. But also too, when she came in, there was Carissa's training around and Charity again. You got Jacob, obviously weaning. I think Jacob and Carissa saw was asleep, and the Charity boy is probably up with the maid as usual, because that's during her son instead of Charity the way she acts. But But anyways, we end up where they're having a family moment, and right before they're about to get the projector together, so Charity's asking, well, Grace, so did you take care of some business for Bob? And around the same time, Phillips even tried asking somebody, did she go to see Bob in Arizona? And he was like, okay, thank you, another time. So here's Charity trying to ask Grace, like, so did you take care of the business with Bob? Because Lay May and some like Red, she was like, okay, it's unsettled, something like that. It is what it is, or something like that. And then, like I said, Cherry's trying to ask some information. Did you go see Bob out there? And it's like, why would I see Bob? And, Cherry got this look like, that's the perfect name for her, because we need a charity line for her, like a charity to get her, like, some happy time, help her why she's so mean and bitter and bratty. I don't know, the second middle child, whatever the hell's going on with her. And also to get a clue, we need, a charity fund for her to get a clue. Yeah, okay. So they look at the projector. Finally, they set it up, and they look in the first photo, because first they were looking at it just like the squares in the projector pictures. They'd be like this big. And when they finally, Jake was able to plug it up, and they look at the projector screen in one of the parts of their big old living room. And the first photo posts up is Faith. And, and Jake was like, oh, I'm sorry. They wanted to look at it, and she had Gigi sit right next to her. And I think everybody's just staring at this photo, and it's like bittersweet and sad because, she's no longer here. And they just focus on the one of the few times where the family, at least for a moment, is united and is bonding. And after basically that scene, Gigi goes to her room, her headquarters, her part, whatever, and she decides to call. I don't know what time she got in, but she called again the place, the halfway house, and she asked, "Can she speak to AJ?" And again, AJ again, what do you want once he answers the phone? And she was like, "I want you to come home." And it ends where you just see Grace with the phone on and her phone to her ear. You see AJ with his phone too. He's not saying nothing. And then you got the credits in the ear. Yeah, pretty much. That's all we got. Well, hugs and loves. God bless. I'll see you next review. When I put these up. But anyway, y'all. Hopefully they got the right episode. Now I'll take my tail to bed and just go out to wait till tomorrow and hopefully finish up between the next days or two of finishing up these reviews. Okay, y'all. Take care.